Dr. Sucheta Chapekar, as we all know, is a scholar, researcher, and a guru. But first of all, she is a very, very fine performer, and I'm sure she has a lot to say about her performing career. Let us hear it from her. After your Arangetram, at that time, I can visualize that performing in Maharashtra, Mumbai, and that too a Maharashtrian dancer performing, it must be really unusual and for people something which is abnormal. So, did you start performing immediately after your Arangetram?
I remember that after Arangetram, I think that was Pakistan or China, or there was some performance for National Defence Fund in Ravindra Natya Mandir, where Madhukar Rao Chaudhary was there. He was Chief Minister, I think, at that time. And fund was collected.
This must be in early 70s, isn't it?
It must be after Arangetram, means maybe early 70s, 65 or so. After that, of course, as I told you, the college years and the Marathi thing started. 1 year, as I told you, I was with this Discovery of India ballet, which got used to, another thing was got used to routine. One more thing that period gave me was we were always traveling together, and Masterji had he had studied the texts, and I had a lot of interest in texts. So in the train, it will always, a class will go on. I remember the other girls were not so much, they would keep the book and go to sleep, but I was the keen listener. So I got lot of things to learn, the shlokas. And in college years also, learning by heart the shlokas was one craze. I would, every day I had a Central Railway pass and I had Western Railway pass. See, before matric, my father had not left me alone any time. Everywhere he would take me in a car, leave me, bring me. But after that, he said, now you go. So I was so much in the Bombay buses, double deckers, I was not at all used, but then suddenly I said, why not? But so I had both these railway passes, and because Masterji was in Grant Road, my college was in VT, so
traveled a lot.
All these travelling. So what I used to do on the bus ticket, every day one shlok was written, and here. So while I would and learn the shlok by heart, and this way whole Abhinay Darpan was learned by heart. So many shlokas. So that is also one. I mean, I think those years only I felt that people want to know what it is. You know, as I said, I was not very keen to tell people. But my father was always keen, even in younger days, wherever we went, even for holidays, if we went to Mahabaleshwar, he would say in the dining room, you perform. And I said, but what is this, people? They will come, poor people, let them, but you talk, you explain. So slowly I had got used to this. And he would say, doesn't matter, your English, it's not literary, but you reach. When you talk in colloquial language, no, doesn't matter, but you talk sense. So it reaches. So I had already become a little bold and had started talking. So that was the time when all my lecture demonstrations, programs.
Because I believe you gave lecture demonstrations all over Maharashtra.
Right, all over Maharashtra were performances, but particularly in Mumbai, right from Vanita Samaj, Dadar to Ladies Club, Kolaba, I covered so many ladies club because I felt it's a mother who encourages daughters to learn dance, and so what is dance, what is Bharatanatyam, different styles.
So from appreciation point of view,
appreciation point of view, till the time, I mean, I wrote this book, Dhrityatmika, it is the same thing, it's for, as its slogan says, it's for everybody. Those dancers also who are not dancers also only appreciate, want to learn. So that was also going on throughout.
Along with your performances.
Now school, as you know, it was vernacular, and I was not it's not English medium school that we learned, but because my grandfather was English teacher, so this talking in English, I remember first I was invited in Kulava, I think there was this housing society where Naralikas used to stay. His wife was interested in music, and they had asked me to give a lecture demonstration. So 1 hour lecture, I had everything I used to write because in English, and my father was of course very good, wherever mother was there to help me with. But then I was good in learning by heart. When talking, I would never, I'd keep the note, but first I used to, like this talking experience gave me that courage to do lecture demonstrations. So that was going on. So after that, quite some period went, and with this lecture demonstration experience, I don't know how, but I got invited by Arya Sangeet Prasarak Mandal of Pune to give a lecture demonstration, talk.
Okay.
In Pune. This must have been in 66 or so.
Those are the people who organize Savai
Gandharva Festival.
Okay.
That time Marathi girl and doing something. So here only there is one Aitagni Rajwade Karyalay. There it happened, I clearly remember. Lot of people, and Anna himself, Bhimsen Joshi and Vasantara Deshpande, both were present for that. And Vasantara was so happy, and Bhimsenji, I mean, I was quite young and whatever, because we had learned the text and I knew so many slokas by heart, and I would say them, tell the meaning, and it must have been good. So I remember Bhimsenji saying, Sakshat Saraswati bolti, choti Saraswati.
Wow.
Maybe that was the them which got me invitation to perform in Savai Gandharva Festival way back in 67 or 68, 67. That was my first performance in Savai
Gandharva.
And it used to happen in Renuka Swarup School. And Parvati Kumar Master had come, and I did Bharatanatyam there. So that was the first time. Then of course 3 more times I got invited for Savai Festival program. But next one was 25 years. That also experience is something quite unique. Actually we had some performances ongoing and musicians are sitting here. That was the time already I was performing Nritya Ganga a lot. So everybody is here. Pratibha Karnik, she used to be Pimpalkhare Bua's disciple, she used to sing for me. And then I receive a call from Bhimsenji that that year there was some air strike, and that day I think Radha Raja Reddy were to perform, so they couldn't reach. And that he came to know in the morning. So he said, तुमच्या शिवाय कोण आहे दुसरं, तुम्ही याल ना संध्याकाळी परफॉर्म करा.
The same day morning you got this.
So everybody was here. काही करूया का? I took a little time. मी जरा musicians बघते मिळतायत विचारते. And then I phoned my husband. He said, yes, you will do it. Do it. So evening I was in, that time it was in Raman Bagh, and few of my students were there for them to perform.
So no rehearsal, no planning, straight performance.
But rehearsal for some program we were already, I think, rehearsing. That is why they all happened to be here, and everybody was game for doing. So we rehearsed the whole day and evening I danced. And after that,
Another story.
another story. 2002 was, I think, 50th year of Savai Gandharva. That time I got invited, proper invited. Before Vaman Rao came. And yes, I was so happy that I'm getting proper invitation.
Because that's such a prestigious festival.
Yeah. So, well, we'll phone you, be ready when you're, because there is no point in going and sitting there. So, ready by 11, I get a call. Now you can come. So, from behind and I'll be
11 p.m.
11 p.m. That I had expected it will be around
being
late.
it a Savai Gandharva.
Because those years, right from afternoon it started till next morning, it used to be whole night program. And in the end, Anna Bimsenji himself would sing. So I went and sat there, and being 50th year, all the senior players and singers, everybody was there. And each one comes and, Sucheta, you go after, you are younger, no, you go. Shobha Gurtu comes, Shobha Tai, I knew her well. Sucheta, please, let me go. Now, I was and because I got in that stitched new dress, Nritya Ganga, sitting, finally 3:30, just before Anna came on stage, I got 1.5 hours.
In the dawn, literally.
So that was the program latest. I danced early morning, keeping the whole night.
I'm sure you must be having thousands of such experiences during your performing career.
Now, fourth time was 2015, that is after 40 years.
Yes.
I get invited again. This time, of course, I had 4 of my disciples with me. I did a solo, and then I said to the audience, I hope now after 15 years they don't take 15 years to invite. At 87, I won't be able to. But there is also video of that. It was a good program. Nritya Ganga only I did. Rishikesh Bhide sang, and I think Samni was there. Now I have been using Pakhavat, Tabla, both. Govind Dilare was there. So Savai has been an experience.
And you have been performing Bharatanatyam, I mean traditional Bharatanatyam as well as Nritya Ganga all over
Yes,
India,
yes. So after that first Savai, and as I told you that Marathi program on Oval, at Oval, then there were series of this Maharashtra Sanskritik Festival. Like, I mean, almost all the cities, Maharashtra, Nagpur, Nashik, Solapur, Kolhapur, Satara, Karad, Sangli, Miraj, even Nanded and Latur. You must have heard these names only for Bazar Bhav. People come and see program. Even a small place like Buldhana, have you ever heard of this name? It is a beautiful hill station, Buldhana. So these also added to lot of my experience. Kolhapur, I remember there were hardly, I think Kamala Lakshman had performed there before nobody else, and people didn't much appreciate, and they left, and this was the news. So I went there, and the organizers, first when they saw only me getting out of the car, and say, "Dusra baya kutat." Because they were used only to Lavani parts where all the group will be there, you know. So I said, "Baya, yo eklit baya hai." पण नंतर audience, because I used to explain in Marathi, and those years I also used to dance Marathi composition. So people could, relate that something Marathi, महाराष्ट्राचा काहीतरी संबंध त्याच्याशी आहे. Similarly, I remember performance in Pali. Have you heard of Pali?
Oh.
It is one of the Ashtavinayaks.
I've heard only
Pali, Mahad, and
yes.
so many. 8 are there, no?
Yes.
So there, one of the Bhide family is from. They are the Khots there. This Bhide was my father's friend, and that auntie was very fond of me. So she said, "We have Bhagini Samaj, and we'll do your performance in Pali." Now Pali, that time they had mud road. It wasn't even. It was a complete village, and one Dabda theatre, like only sand, and weekly they would, or monthly they would bring a cinema and show that kind of theatre. But she was so into. They made a stage like
temporary
with cow dung. It was made even, and stage was prepared. And in Gulak Cart, the announcements of the program. Sucheta Tai doing Bharatanatyam. Many villagers came. There are only 2 daris placed in the front where the prominent people sit. Rest are all sitting down on the floor, like, the typical way how the villagers sit. And it was full. Means people were, who is this girl? Because Bhide, he was Khot and he was known in the place, So, and she was, before women, she was doing a lot of social work. So women came one side, and one item, 2 items. That time I was only doing Bharatanatyam. I was not doing Nritya Ganga or anything. So 3 compositions, no clap. So I went to of course I was explaining, and I went to the mic. तुम्हाला, have you liked the program? तुम्हाला आवडला असला तर तुम्ही टाळ्या वाजवू शकता. So many claps. Then next day, actually that Pali, it's famous for copper pots. They make typical kind of copper pots there. So next day when I went to the shop, he asked, "You are the one who danced?" I said, "Yes, how did you like? And why you people were not clapping?" They said, "No, we felt you will be disturbed." So, so sweet. But we liked it. I said, "What did you like?" So he said, "आम्हाला ना देवळातल्यासारखं वाटलं." We felt like we were in a temple. So I said, yeah, there cannot be a better prize or a compliment than this. So such experiences really put you. Nagpur I have been several times, and each time it has been a different experience. The very first time, I remember that must have been also when I was still with Parvati Kumar, with Master. We all had gone. Again, I think it was some festival, huge pandal, thousands of people. And that day one day was music, of course, Bhimsenji was there, and all the top singers. And dance day, there were 3 dancers. After me, Yamini and then Sitara.
Oh.
Naturally, I was the youngest one, so I was first. So, yes, already. And the announcer comes and tells Masterji, because I was not going to talk or anything. So he said, Yamini, she is doing Navarasa Shlok. So ask your girl, she can't do that. She is doing. So that was my most favorite composition. Till this day I dance it. It's a Sanskrit shloka, only pure Abhinaya item with all the 9 sentiments from life of Lord Rama. So Masterji comes to me and, Bhide, tya kartet to. In my youth, I was very so, but why? I'm going first, so I will do. And I danced it. And even after Tilana, I don't know whether that was magic of very bright lights coming. And because of my face, I always, when the lights are coming down, they fall in the eyes and it shows. Every Abhinaya, every rasa, I got plenty of. Lot of claps, and it was a grand success. And then I went to Yaminiji and said, sorry, she said, no, you did.
Cheti Nandini Viharane Veeram Dhanurbhanjane Karunyam Karunyam Bali Bhojane Adbhutarasam Sindho Giristhabane Nijane Shandam Munijane Shantam Ma Patuvaha Munijane
When you performed in South, for them it must be again a different thing. A dancer from Maharashtra performing traditional Bharatanatyam. I'm sure there must be a lot of reactions that you received.
Yeah. That's a totally different story. Yes, as I said, my first was this Like Them, Marathi composition. And then I start getting guidance from Dr. V. Raghavan for Shahji's things. So he was keen that I perform the Shahji repertoire in Music Academy.
Oh.
Nowhere else but the revered Music Academy. Because he was the founder and secretary then. And he had total faith in what I was doing. Kittappa Sir was doing Natvangam, and one of his disciples, Padmalochani Nagarajan, she was dancer as well as singer. At one point she had scholarship in both the genres from ICCR. So I don't know, I think she's still in Chennai. So she was singing and V.P. Ramdas was Mridangam. When he is there, all musicians, no problem. And Dr. Raghavan was sitting in the wing introducing every composition.
Great.
Sometimes in Tamil, sometimes in English. And it was month of May. Lot of heat. And there was very small announcement in Hindu about this Marathi Hindi compositions, and at music hall was full. Maybe those years there weren't so many programs, or I don't know what, or this kind of interested people. Tanjore is one place people like you say I'm from Palghat or I'm from Banaras or so that way Tanjore is a kind of confluence of Marathi, Tamil, Telugu. All these three dynasties for a number of years they ruled, and they had also patronized arts. So there was one person sitting next to my father, and he was tempted with Mundu, and also husband was there at that time. So he was tempted to ask him, what did you like in her dance? So she said, that is real Bharatanatyam.
Wow. Great.
See, the remark shows that confluence, like the language is Marathi, dancer is Marathi, but she is doing precisely with all the traditional orchestra in typical Carnatic music. So that really hit, people liked it.
That must be really
I was
close
happy.
to their, maybe their psyche,
Yeah.
typical Tanjorians. Great.
So after that, I got invited several times to Krishna Gana Sabha. Was Mr. Yajna Raman. He was a great converser of music. Yajna Raman also invited me to perform Nritya Ganga there in Chennai.
In Chennai.
And I really got very good reviews. People really liked it. They said if we see the dance, it's Bharatanatyam. If we hear the music, it's beautiful Hindustani music. Yeah. What more we want? So it was appreciated very much.
Please share with us, how did you manage to work with so many musicians over so many years?
When person like Kitappa sir or even Parvati Kumar had relations with musicians, so those times I never had to bother. But another thing was because I had for a number of years, 8-10 years, I learned Carnatic music. So a little bit, I mean, I couldn't give exposition to raga or anything like that, but some hints, some correctness. Now Kitappa sir used to sing in a way which is in my ears. So if I tell a singer, no, not hear this, but see, I don't know, but sir would sing, so they would appreciate. To the extent that today Shiva Prasad will tell me, don't send me anybody else, you sing. I said, now of course my voice is totally gone, but there are some recordings where I have sung Ashtapadi, Dashavatar, even studio recordings. I had tuneful voice, but now it's gone, it's okay. I understand music.
तांडव नृत्य कदी गजानन तांडव नृत्य कदी तांडव नृत्य कदी गजानन तांडव नृत्य कदी गजानन तांडव नृत्य कदी
So kind of, they always appreciated that. And then of course the payments and these things, the remunerations. But those years I remember it wasn't so stringent. Means today dancers are so many, performances are so many, and there are without sponsorship you can't do a program. So it's becoming as if the dancers are sponsor. They sponsor, they pay the musician, it's become, the conditions have changed. Like what remunerations I was getting 30 years back, same are today offered sometimes, but we have to say no, now at least musicians you pay them separately, they work so hard.
Bhide Baba